This is Foxtor Mire, high up on Dartmoor. It's a vast bog, soaking up all the heavy Atlantic rains that fall into this natural bowl, before releasing the waters to begin the long journey down to Dartmouth.
It's a journey I'm going to be following from source to sea, where I'm on a promise of a fish supper from a star chef. Yum, yum. Now to cross this.
I'm walking along one of our most varied and picturesque rivers. One that feeds the imagination and the appetite of those lucky enough to call this corner of Britain home. The River Dart. My journey to Dartmouth begins on Dartmoor. Foxtor Mire is one of the River Dart's many headwaters. Its beauty is breathtaking. But it belies a brooding menace, which made it the inspiration for Arthur Conan Doyle's Grimpen Mire in The Hound of the Baskervilles. It's deserted now, but this was once a busy workplace, buzzing with miners, chasing veins of precious tin. It's eerily atmospheric. The marshy ground sucks at the boots of walkers like me, hinting at the mire's fearsome reputation for claiming the lives of those that dare to cross its boggy heart.
And if to Foxtor Mires he roam, he'll bid a long adieu to home. Spellbound and lost, he ventures on. One fatal step, and all is done. Crikey, I better watch myself.
One man who's completely at home in this difficult terrain is Arctic explorer Pen Haddow, who used it to train for his most arduous expedition, walking and swimming to the North Pole. He's cooking me up a spot of breakfast.
Well, thank you for my... I'd like to say porridge, but it looks a bit more like gruel, Ben.
No,
but thank you.
I
This
think-
is fuel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good fuel.
That's what you realise on long range, especially Arctic and Antarctic expeditions. Food is fuel.
I'm conscious that I'm got all these clothes on and you're
Yeah.
just sat here in a T-shirt.
-5, but it's still a beautiful day.
But you're hardened to the cold, aren't you, because of your Arctic and polar expedition. And it's a beautiful landscape here, especially today. But for you, it was a harsh landscape, wasn't it? It's where you did all your training for those Arctic explorations.
Yes, I did. I found it, in a way, uniquely useful as a sort of simulated environment. So crossing the mire is comparable to crossing very dangerous or difficult ice of unknown thickness and whether it will support your weight or not. I was trying to replicate the levels of stress that I knew I would experience from experience on the Arctic Ocean, and I do it through the night, and I would not deviate. Whether there was a rock, a stream, whatever was in my way, I would endeavour not to go round it, I would go over it. It's actually frightening. With a heavy pack, no one knew where I was on my own, and I had to be very careful how I proceeded. Falling in the wrong way into certain parts of the mire with such a heavy load on my back, that probably would be the last bit of simulation I would be doing.
And today it's such a lovely landscape, almost benign. Does it have special meaning for you?
The River Dart, as a system,
Yeah.
is heaven on a stick as far as I'm concerned. To me, I find it deeply, spiritually, in a general sense, enriching. I mean, even on the European map, Foxtor Mire and the other mires or wetland bogs that we have on Dartmoor are of unique interest in scientific, wildlife, plant and animal terms.
We're heading downstream to the West Dart, where the rugged moor gives way to a wooded valley, and another place that played a part in Penn's Arctic training, Huckabee Bridge.
Oh, wow, isn't this lovely? We've emerged into something beautiful. You promised me a
It's-
lovely spot, and it is, isn't it?
It's looking well today, I must say,
And we've got it all to ourselves as well.
just as nature intended.
And I bet in summer it's heaving.
It is. People enjoying a cool dip with a barbecue. Yeah, it gets pretty busy.
Have you put your toes in?
Well, it won't surprise you to hear that I have, but I tend to go in the winter.
Of course.
Because I see this as a training opportunity. So I used to practice wearing my immersion suit for crossing the open water sections between the ice
Right.
flows on the Arctic Ocean. And it hadn't been used before, this technique, swimming between the flows and pulling my sledge behind me.
Right.
And this was as near as I could get. Because the water temperature in the winter, you know, +1, +2, it freezes over. And it's only -1.8, the coldest it can be in the Arctic Ocean before it freezes because it's salty water there. So, yeah, it's a good environment.
Nothing surprises me about you, Penn, but I can't hang about because I've got lots more river to see. So I'm off.
Okay, happy walking.
Thank you.
Here I leave Penn and head downstream to Dartmeet. So called because it's where the West Dart meets the East Dart, and the River Dart itself begins. It's a popular beauty spot for taking the time to stand and stare. Pristine waters tumble between granite boulders. It's a place for children to play and form a lifelong bond with the river. The medieval Clapper Bridge is loved by landscape photographers. And of course, these days, there's the obligatory selfie.
Lovely.
Enough of that, Jemma. Time to move on. From Dartmeet to Newbridge, where I have a chilling appointment. With the turning colours of the riverside leaves, autumn is a great time to be walking along the Dart. It isn't, though, the time of year that I'd normally be tempted to take a dip. It was -5 degrees up at Foxtor Mire overnight, so it's with some nervousness that I'm going to meet, shall we say, a hardy bunch.
Hello. So you are the wild swimmers, and you're going to go in there, are you?
Yeah.
I think you're crazy. How cold is that water?
Freezing.
It's about, I think it's about 6 degrees at the moment.
But it must be exhilarating. I'm presuming that there's something about it, the freshness of the water, the wonderful outdoors, the
It's
beautiful
actually-
sunshine.
It's being outdoors all winter and all year, really, isn't it? It's like, you know, you're just
The
going
buzz you get out of it lasts
Yeah.
for ages afterwards when you get out of the water. It's
And the
just,
shakes.
yeah,
You
the
feel like
shakes,
you've got like a cloak of invincibility on when you
Yeah.
come out. It's like, wow.
A cloak of invincibility.
That's
All
nice,
right, I'm
very
looking forward to
rare.
that. Do you think they'll be able to tolerate it? Because it's not like I've been doing it all year or anything. Will I be all right?
Yeah, Gemma, just get in. Don't hang around. Just get in, and
right.
you'll love it.
Don't make a fuss about it. All right then. Well, I'm
There might
gonna,
be some squealing.
I'm gonna let you show me the way. You first, as they say.
You first. You're going to get changed.
No, you first. Yeah, I'll get changed.
Yeah.
Watch you get in.
Running away.
We're not going to be in for long. It's very
Right.
cold.
Nice try, Jemma.
Is it warm in there?
Come on, in you go.
I can't believe I'm going in. Okay. You watch me, you'll be proud of me.
Oh my God. That is unbelievably.
Come on, Gemma.
It's
It's so cool.
At this point, there's usually some wag saying, "It's lovely once you're in." Curiously enough, not today. Are you watching Penhaddo? No survival suit for me.
I cannot feel myself from the neck down, but it was quite exhilarating. Oh, isn't there a towel?
Glad you enjoyed it and keep doing it.
Keep doing it,
Yeah,
okay.
keep the colds away.
I'm not going to promise that, but I might try it again sometime.
Good.
I've almost got my circulation going again. I'm leaving Dartmoor behind and heading for Buckfast Lee. Here, the waters of the Dart are doing less tumbling and a lot more gliding.
Oh, the river's so calm here. It's lovely. It feels almost peaceful. But for that main road and the traffic, noisy. I guess you can't have it all the time.
Beyond Buckfast Lee, there's a stretch of the Dart that has no footpath along its banks, but I'm keen to stay by the river. Fortunately, there is a way. I'm going to let the train take the strain. The South Devon Railway runs between Buckfast Lee and Totnes. Just enough time for a cuppa.
We're on our way. Clanking and clunking. I can see the Dart sparkling away next to me. It's really pretty, but I'm in this lovely 1930s Art Deco carriage. And it's really wonderful in here. And I tell you what, these seats, they're really comfy. I could do a nice long journey in this. Every now and then the Dart disappears behind the trees and then you just catch this kind of bouncing of white light and there it is. It's so spectacular. Nice cup of tea, but I'm sure I can smell sausages. I'm gonna go and have a look. Hello.
Hello.
Oh,
Hiya.
mystery solved. You're cooking sausages up here. Can I come aboard?
Yes.
Oh, I can hardly fit through. Oh. Look at you having a cheeky breakfast.
A cooked breakfast always goes down very well.
Oh, it does indeed. I must admit, I've never had a fried breakfast like this before.
That's quite warm. Let's close that.
That looks nicely done. Can I pinch a sausage?
You certainly can.
Thank you. This is a very clean shovel, I must say. Honestly, that's really nice.
Huh?
Alan, tell me, did you have a train set as a kid?
Doesn't every child have a train set as a kid?
So this is an adult dream then, isn't it? It's a big train set for you.
I suppose it is really, yeah. My dad, he bought me my first one at 3, so I didn't know a great deal about it. Kids love it when you wait.
Tell me about the buzzards. I heard that the buzzards follow the train because it disperses all the field mice and rats.
That's absolutely right, yeah. We haven't seen any today, but that's kind of pretty common, and it's just idyllic. And when you've got the Dart and the sun shining on it and it's twinkling, it's fabulous.
Riding in the engine is this schoolgirl's dream. And who doesn't love a bit of playground humour?
I'm just going to get this right. You're not allowed to blow off in the station, and blowing off is In very quick layman's terms, what's
Is
going on?
there's a safety valve. It's the other thing between the chimney and the cab, and there's a safety valve which lifts.
Releasing pressure, blowing
is.
off.
But
All right, we're not going to blow off at
We
any
are.
point on this route.
Let's
I
hope
promise
not.
you.
Let's hope.
Are we coming into the station now?
Yes, we are.
So can I, is it this? They know we're coming.
Arriving in Totnes, I'm taking a small detour to Dartington Estate and one of the most popular stretches of the River Dart for walkers. These gorgeous jerseys grazing along the flood meadows will be providing me with a treat later. But they're not the only providers of food along this stretch of the river. I'm joining wild food expert Myrtle Cooper for a foraging stroll.
Where should we go now? What's our next
Let's
route?
go this way.
Okay.
To forage safely, it's a good idea to learn from an expert before picking yourself and get permission from the landowner. So, Myrtle has a plant in mind that many of us have in our own gardens.
Ah, look at this. Beautiful.
So these are our common hips, our rose hips. This is dog rose. When we're using rose hips, we have to be really careful not to eat the seeds. They're covered in hairs, which we used to use as itching powder.
I put them down my brother's collar.
I'm sure he was very happy about that.
Yes.
So the best way to work with rose hips is to make a syrup or a cordial. So you boil up the rose hips with some water and anything else you want to add, and that breaks them down, and then you can strain them through a jelly bag or a pillowcase, and then you get the flavour and the juice and some of the pulp, but you leave those itchy seeds behind.
Myrtle is off to gather some surprise ingredients for my seafood chef to conjure with. I'm meeting Harriet Bell of Dartington Estate, which wants to involve local river users in looking at this stretch of the Dart.
Although it's this kind of beautiful downtown Abbey-esque building, it's not a standoffish approach to the river, is it? You want to bring in the people so everyone manages it a little bit.
It just seems like an anathema that anybody should own a river. Like everything that we all do at home contributes to the health of the river. We really need to start thinking about how we take care of it as a community, because every little bit we do all over the place, not just while we're stood on the bank, matters. And instead of taking a kind of really old-fashioned, you're on our land, you'll obey our rules approach, we really want people to think, well, this is a resource we really love. What matters most about it? How do we want to manage it going forward? We want to invite people kind of into the decision-making process.
And when people love something, they take care of it,
Exactly.
don't they?
Yeah.
It's not long before I come across some of these river users at Totnes Weir, a key moment in the river's journey. Above the weir is fresh water. Below is tidal, and as it makes that transition, the river does a job for the community.
Behind me, you've got an Archimedes screw where the River Dart is busy generating electricity for the people of Totnes. Clever that.
Below Totnes, the Dart widens, and by the time it reaches the Sharpham estate, it's become quite majestic.
The character of the river is very different around here. Because it's tidal twice a day, the water recedes back, revealing these mud flats like open larders for wading birds. Speaking of which, I'm feeling a bit peckish too.
Sharpham House sits proudly overlooking a looping meander in the river, a position that makes its grounds perfect for growing grapes. It's home to Sharpham Wine and Cheese, and their cafe makes a scenic lunch stop. The gooey cheese is made with milk from those lovely Dartington jerseys.
Mm-mm.
But it's wine I'm after, to go with my seafood dinner in Dartmouth. I'm hoping to get a steer from wine taster Tom Widgery. What a job he has. Must have a go.
isn't the colour I was expecting?
Well, this is still wine from 2018, so it's still not the finished product yet.
Okay.
It's there pretty much in terms of flavour, but we'll have to go through a final filtration before it gets bottled, adding clarity to the wine.
OK, should we have a little taste of this one
Of course,
then?
you're more than welcome to
All right.
taste.
And can you taste the Dart in this? Does it have an impact on the flavour?
I think it definitely has an impact on the flavour. It wouldn't taste as it does now without some of the influence of the River Dart. The Dart at this point is salt water. It's very tidal, which helps to moderate the air temperature and unsettle frosts. And we even get a bit of sunlight that reflects back off of the river.
Tell me what I'm tasting.
I think straight away you're going to notice some very vibrant fruits, maybe a slight pear drop aroma to it. On the palate, it's fresh, it's balanced. The acidity's
that's
good.
delicious. You're right, it does taste a little bit of pear drops.
Yeah.
Alcoholic pear drops, even better.
Even better.
And I might just finish this off if it's all right, Tom. I mean, you can do your business, so I'm just going to
We'll leave you there, of course.
And so, finally, to Dartmouth, a town with a name that says it all. Surely amongst our prettiest estuary towns. It's journey's end for the River Dart, and for me. But first, I have a dinner date to look forward to with local star seafood chef Mitch Tonks.
Hey Gemma, you okay?
Hello.
Welcome aboard.
Thank
Give
you.
your hand.
Thank you very much.
We're off out to sea. You're catching, I'm cooking.
You're going to make me work for my supper.
Always. It's got to be
All
done.
right then.
It's got to be done.
Mitch is living his dream, running seafood restaurants in a place he loves.
You know, it sort of happens over a period of time, and then suddenly you're doing it, and you think, is this real? You know, Dartmouth is special.
On the menu is mackerel, and they won't catch themselves.
The older I get and the more time I spend on the river or walking up the river or going in and out by boat, it never ceases to amaze me just how magical it is. It just changes every day, you know.
Can you taste the flavour? Is this too ridiculous? But can you taste the flavour of the Dart in the fish here?
I don't know about taste the flavour of the Dart, but the one thing I can say is that we get some amazing seafood here all along this coast, but there are one or two very clever fishermen that fish off of the Mewstone out here, and they fish for sea bass and mackerel. And you eat it within a few hours of it being caught. It goes through rigor mortis and you eat it. The flavour is absolutely insane. It's like nothing else you ever tasted. And I think it's, you know, why people come here, you know, to experience that, you know.
Yeah.
Today it seems the mackerel are camera shy. But you know what they say, fishing isn't just about catching fish.
So we didn't actually catch anything, but fortunately I know that we've got a little something tucked away on board.
Meet stunt mackerel.
Take that all off in one go.
Wow, you did that so elegantly.
Well, I filleted a few of these guys in my time.
These are nice plump fillets, aren't
So
they?
this time of the year when the fish has got loads of oil in, they're at their best. So just give them a good wash in salt water. And we're going to make a marinade from natural yoghurt, curry paste, a bit of fresh ginger. I love the smell of ginger. And then some mango chutney for sweetness. And a nice bit of stickiness to the fish as well when we start grilling it. It'll help it caramelise. There's nothing nicer than good curry spices. So
Oh, that smells delicious.
it's lovely.
It does. What are we going to eat with this?
A salad.
Well, I've been foraging. Don't be afraid. You're going to love this. Rose hip syrup
Rose hip syrup.
from Dartington, right from the banks of the River Dart, those rose hips. Is it good?
Oh, lovely.
I knew you'd like it.
Lovely and sweet. That'll make a wonderful dressing.
Look at that. You're going to love this. Wood sorrel. Have a little taste of that.
I'm a lover of wood sorrel.
Are you?
It's one of the few forage things I love. It's really zingy. It's like sherbet.
Do you know what
What's
that is?
No, what is it?
Wild mustard.
Wow.
It's strong, isn't it?
That's really strong.
It goes right up your nose and
It
makes
is.
your eyes water.
It's like kind of wasabi.
It's like
that sort of
wasabi,
Japanese
that's it.
wasabi kind of experience.
Can
Right.
you use these things, Mitch?
Definitely going to use them. They're delicious. Let's make a dressing. So the rose hips, some lime juice, a little salt, a bit of olive oil. Pop some of those leaves and just tear those up into nice small pieces. We've got our mackerel. So the mackerel, those crispy black bits are not burning. That's the yoghurt and the curry paste. We'll serve that with a lime wedge, that lovely salad, and a little dollop of fresh yoghurt. It's amazing what you can do with just a few things, right?
Yeah.
And that sums up a A day on the River Dart.
A day on the River Dart.
Okay, so the proof's in the eating, Gem.
Oh, wow. Isn't that
There.
lovely?
It's good.
That's good. That's
Brilliant.
what you want at the end of a
Don't know.
long walk. I've got one last little gift for you, Mitch, and you're going to like this. There we go.
Delicious. Cheers, Gemma. A great day.
Cheers.
You're not
To
a
the
bad
dart.
fisherman. To the dart.
To the dart. Thank you.
What a delicious wine.
Oh, very nice.
I wonder how many rivers there are where you can catch fish, forage a salad, and drink the wine in England.
I know.
It's pretty cool, right?
It's pretty cool. And if we get tipsy, we won't know because we're rolling around on a boat.
Yeah.
I've walked the Dart. I've swum the Dart. I've trained the Dart. I fished the Dart.
And I have one last thing to say. Cheers, Dart, for some great walking.